Good morning, dear students. We have completed the upper limb. We have gone through all the major concepts. Now we are starting the lower limb. The first lecture is talking about the overall organization of the lower limb. And in that context, we have to look into in a different way how the things have been organized and how we can go about with our things. So let's talk about the organization of the lower limb. Lower limb is different from upper limb. Lower limb is primarily made for locomotion, weight bearing, these type of things. And the objectives which we'll be covering here, general organization and the phases of locomotion. So, as I said earlier, weight bearing, locomotion, maintaining unique, upright, bipedal posture. So these are important factors. And what we are learning in lower limb, we'll be having two coxal bones, innominate bones, hip bones, and then there is a long femur, and there is a hip joint, which we'll be learning here. Let me make a pointer here. So the hip joint, and then we should be knowing about femur, the knee joint, then we have superior tibiofibular. So this is in replacement of humerus, and then radius and ulna. Now we don't have radius and ulna, we have tibia and fibula, and then we don't have carpals, we have tarsals. So these are the things, and then we have regions. We have the gluteal region, thigh. Thigh will be divided into front of thigh, medial thigh, posterior thigh. Then the leg. Leg has an anterolateral compartment and a posterior compartment, and then we have foot. And then we have different type of movements which are occurring. So if we look at what are the different regions of our lower limbs, so these are the different parts. So now the movements, how we can move about the things. So we have flexion, extension, we know about these features, abduction, adduction, they all are there. And axis of rotation is there, so we can rotate across our knees. So medial and lateral rotations are possible. Extension of the leg, flexion. Now, these two new terms, dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. We were not using these terms in our upper limb, but here in lower limb we'll be talking about that. And one more thing, inversion and eversion. So these are the things when we'll be talking about the foot and the ankle joint, we'll be explaining these things. So this is an overview of my lower limb. So now going further, we should be understanding gait cycle, how we can walk. So what is a mechanism? So primarily, the gait cycle consists of two phases: stance phase, support, and swing phase. Like you're standing, this is your support or stance phase, it's your stance. And when you're lifting your foot from the surface, that's the swing phase. So you are in air and then you're landing in different direction. So now the stance phase, it has three stages. So your heel strike, your foot flap, and your toe off. So this is how, and we will be seeing it shortly. And the swing phase, toe off, heel strike. So this is vice versa. So this is how our gait cycle come in play. So now let's see in this image. Look at these different images, and they are showing us, just focus, guys, focus here on their feet and what happens. So this is the gait cycle. Look at it. So these four people, these are the stages of stance phase. What is happening here? And what is the other thing after stance? Swing phase. So look at it. Their feet are on the floor, this feet. And there, they are in air. They're lifted. So now, this is my right step. Look at the right step. What is happening? So heel is touching the ground. So right heel in contact. What happened next? It's a flat foot flap. Then what we do? We are lifting it again. Just look at this right foot. So you're lifting. So this is how you continue walking. So your toe off. So toe is touching. And then heel up in the swing phase. Toe off. And this is how swing. So it's in air. It's not touching the floor. But your body is being balanced. You're not dropping down. And this is how we complete, and again in contact. So we just continue. This is how we walk. And that's what left step. These are, look at the right steps, left step. So this is how we complete our gait, and we are maintaining. Our body is not been tilting on the sides. That we need to understand. It's a little bit tricky. So look at, so this was the red one, the pink one were the right step. So for the left step, now look at it. So blue is indicating how my left step is behaving when I'm in swing phase. And that we need to understand. So now these are the different phases, stance phase, and these are the muscles who are helping to understand. Guys, this presentation, this part of my lecture is just a journal organization. So we are not really going in detail. It's just for an idea that if somebody asks you when we walk, why we are not falling down? What are those factors? So there are different factors, there are different things which are helping, different muscles, they are helping us while we are walking. Now, another important concept, my lower limb is basically transmitting so many things. We will be talking about this grayish band, bluish grayish band. This is the inguinal ligament. Look at it. So many, a big contribution of structure they passes through under this inguinal ligament. They are coming from my abdominopelvic cavity. And then there are so many communication channels from the pelvic cavity outwards, behind that, going to my posterior thigh. The things are going out. This is the greater sciatic foramina. And then we have a lesser sciatic foramina, and the structures, the obturators, above to it, below to it. So there are so many channels, there are so many arrows which are indicating that structure are passing from different direction to different direction. And this all we will be learning in this lower limb. Lower limb is not difficult. People think, oh, it's difficult. No, but it's upper limb was forming your basis, and I'm sure you'll be enjoying the lower limb. Looking forward and hope things are easy. Thank you very much. Bye bye.